Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Lori-Lynn. This is the High Priestess Oracle, and I am an intuitive. I am a medium. I channel messages. I do use cards, but I rarely read the cards. I allow to reflect upon the cards, but I whatever spirit tells me to say is that's what I do. So I just channel and it just comes out. Some of the stuff that comes out is kind of funny. Some of it's, I don't know, really weird. And it happens on a daily basis with people, and they go, where did that come from? I go, I don't even ask anymore. So lots of people just don't ask anymore. Anyhow, that's sort of my life. So the overall message today was pulled out of the wisdom card, and that's the overall energy today that we need to understand as a whole. And it's let go of the need to control. And there's so much that we want to control because we are living in a culture that there's so little that we can, and it's mostly our lives that we can't control. And so it's to find that, like, dig really deep and trust in the wisdom of the universe, in God, in, the creator, that there is a divine plan. So just trust. And that's where wisdom comes from. Okay, so that was the overall message of the collective universe, and that was with I put it with my pink tourmaline. This was given to me by a friend of mine, Barton, and I'm so appreciative for all that he offers to me. He's a miner, so it's pretty awesome to have a friend like that. So again today, if you like my video, if you like what you've heard, the messages, I interpret the messages and I offer tools or advice, whatever's necessary, whatever Spirit says to me, that's what I offer. And it's all done through the reading. And so if you like that, like my video, share my video, and subscribe, because that really does help me out while I try to establish myself. And it's really important at this time because I know that my message needs to clearly be heard by more and more people. And so I'm really focused on that at this time right now. So I have 3 piles, if you can see. And so the first part of the reading is always about what it is that you need to, focus on today or think about today. Sometime during the day, something will come up and you'll go, oh, that's what she said, and that's what I need to, look at it. Maybe I need to take a second look at it, this is an opportunity that I need to run from. Whatever that is, that usually appears within the day. And so the second part of the reading is about a relationship reading. So it's a love reading, whether or not you're in a twin flame relationship, whether or not you're married, you're unmarried, going through things, relationship of any kind, however it resonates with you, that's what it is. So the first pile is the Serpentine. One of my favorites, of course, and the one card that I'm going to show you is know that you are a work of art. And so those are the messages that come with there'll be more that come with the pile number 1. Pile number 2 is the absolutely stunning Flourite. And if you've been watching my channel, you know how much I love Flourite. It's beautiful. It's incredible. It's one of my favorite stones, obviously. And the card that's being revealed with this is Revelation. So this is saying there's, going to be a change, a transfer. Something will be revealed to you that within relationships, that's going to make or break the relationship. It's going to help you to make a decision on moving forward. Now, the third pile is this is the snowy quartz with the pink tourmaline in between. It is definitely, without a doubt, one of my favorite all-time stones. I can probably say that about every one of my stones, but anyways, this is the snow white granite and the tourmaline. And the card that's revealed with this pile is the card of goals. So in terms of relationship, perhaps it's time to focus on and look at new goals within the relationship. So at this time, if you need to pause the video to choose a deck, do so. Again, pile 1, the Serpentine, pile 2, the Flourite, and pile 3, the snow Granite and the Tourmaline. Okay, and so let's get started on pile number 1. Okay, let's move you over. Okay, so pile number 1. We're going to see first what's coming up. So we look at first is what you are suppressing or not really truly seeing that needs to open up, and how it needs to open up throughout the day. Wow. So the card that first appears in the position of what we're suppressing or not opening up is a Major Arcana card. So that just says automatically that right now today's going to be a big day for you. There's going to be there may be challenges, but there may be excitement too. And so it's learning to balance all of that. Like, how do you balance everything in your life? So, you know, it becomes about planning, and rather than just doing, but making a plan. I also work as a counselor. And doing that, it's, you know, write things down, make a vision board, make a plan. Like, it can be in our head, or we know what to do, but this is saying we're trying to integrate with all different, and this is all different aspects of our world, and trying to bring it up to provide that balance, to get that yin and yang collection, to have this, you know, mindset that there's good, there's not so good, there's great, there's happy, there's joyful. It's all a part of the same. And so not be stuck in one space. So if you're feeling like you're stuck in one space, well, it's really now time to jump outside of your head and say, hey, it's time for me to wake up. So I need to do something in order to move forward. So what you're suppressing is not doing that. It's, you know, it can be seen in some way of being, I want to say lazy, because it does require work. Okay. And so it's putting it off. That's procrastination, really. So the next 2 cards reveal the yin and the yang, and it's what balance is. And if you balance these 2 energies, then this can provide some of the balance in that state of integrating our mind, body, spirit, our life, our world, and what's going on. And that may be now with the new of the nuances of everything that's going on, and things have to change. Things need to change. They can't stay the same, because life isn't the same. So how, you know, you may feel a little bit off footing, but the reality is how you want to really be balanced, and you want to refocus. And so now is the time to do that, to take a look at that. So the yin and the yang cards as the first. Well, okay, so the first card is another Major Arcana card. Wonderful. It's the card of the breakthrough. Okay, and that is balanced by, oh, good Lord, another Major Arcana card, and that is the card of the new vision. So really, it's going to be, once you realize that you are in control of your own life, your own circumstances. Yes, there's not a lot that we can control, or there's lots of things we cannot do that we really want to. Once you realize that, then you start taking a step backwards and realizing that there are things that you can do to balance your life, to make a more balanced, serene, peaceful, you know, setting. And so that is the breakthrough that you're needing. It's to break outside of that shell. If anything's holding yourself back, it's your mind. And so being stuck in those thoughts of, you know, whatever, oh, woe is me was the thought that they just said to me. But I don't like to place judgment, but it's a little bit of that. So it's a matter of breaking outside of that, and really breaking outside of that. So there's a freedom and a celebration of that freedom. And within that is finding that light within yourself. And in finding that light, you do find this new vision. All of a sudden, things start appearing. There's synchronicity, or something happens, or something comes along, or, you know, somebody sparks an interest in you, or sparks an interest in something that you've done, but bang, you've got this new vision. So you have something now that you can potentially look forward to, something that you can work towards. And that's what you're wanting to, to move into this area of integration and balancing all of these energies within your body. So allow for that to come in to transform you, and then be prepared to look outside that box that you've just broken out of for new opportunities, because they're going to come for you. And the next card, is another major arcana card. This is crazy. The next card is the card in the meditation position. Sorry, I stopped there. It was because they were sending me messages before I even got that out. And it's the card of the completion. And so this is the actual card of sitting in silence and understanding and believing in yourself and seeing things from a different perspective. And all of a sudden it's, oh, that was that piece that was missing. And so understanding that, not that there is a piece of you missing, but there's something that seems to within your body right now that's not being fulfilled. And so what is that's going to fulfill you? And you may just have to, as clear as you can, is just say, there is something that is missing from my world, from my life, from it just feels as though there's something missing. And I ask my spirit guides, I ask the Creator, I ask God, I ask the universe to help me to discover, what this is that I need to complete that puzzle. Now, one of the message that they kept sending to me, they keep ringing through my ears, is this has to do with your inner child. And so I believe there was, most likely as a child, there was something that you absolutely loved to do, that you dreamed of doing, that you wanted to do. What's holding you back from this dream? And it's to look at that. And it's not necessarily to say that you need to go to that dream. Maybe you are in a different dream, but it's to remember the innocence, the purity, the love, the joy, the happiness that it came into, interesting messages. They said it's like in a field of 4-leaf clovers and looking for a 4-leaf clover, and you're not just gonna go and do it haphazardly. You actually have to look. So this is digging deep, and this is looking within your side and looking within yourself and finding that dream, that goal, that new vision that's inside of you. And so when you're meditating, it's really to just begin the meditation with open me up to what I need, to remind me what my passion is, and then be really quiet. And then it could take a couple of days, it could take a moment, you could come out of there just feeling re-energized and feeling complete after that. So you have to know that we are moving through this, that we can all get through this. Okay. And we're going to be okay. So the next card is in the position of your heart. Holy geez. I might have to say this may have never happened, but we'll wait till we get to the end of it. And this is, so tied in with the card of the breakthrough. This is the card of the thunderbolt, which in a traditional deck is the tower. And this is the card of your body. And so either your body has recently just begun like this new change, this new adaptation. Where that word came from, I have no idea. But this new change, this new adaptation, this new perspective. And it's so all of a sudden you're feeling completely different, almost surreal. There are feelings that you may not have ever felt before. And it could be on a good side, it could be on a side that you need to release, but maybe all of a sudden jealousy's popping up within you, and it's like, oh my gosh. And so you have to figure these feelings out. Why am I feeling like this? Or let's say you drive past a house and you go, that's that house I want, And then, you know, your world starts crumbling because I thought I was happy. Well, maybe you are happy, but maybe there's more happiness ahead of you. And because you're going through all of these different things with this new vision, this new completion, you know, maybe this thunderbolt is what you've needed in your world, in your life, to make the necessary changes so that when we come out of this pandemic, you are ready and rocking and raring to go. Okay, so, you know, just be aware of your feelings and honor those feelings, respect those feelings, listen to them, and see where they're leading you to. And it's going to be on quite a journey, because there's a lot of energy if you allow it to build you up again. And so as you start recognizing all the things that you've had to let go of, and literally let go of or releasing, it's like material things weren't important. That's not what was important. What was important was, you know, how people make me feel, how I make other people feel, how I relate to other people. It's just a different warmth and feeling within yourself. So the next card, Yahoo, it's not a Major Arcana card. The next card is in the position of your noggin. And so we were talking about wisdom before that, you know, it was a a whole world, because I can't say the word at this time. I don't even know what the word is, but it's a connected energy. And the card that comes up for you within your mind is the card of the celebration. And the reason that this card is so important in this position is because there are things that are weighing on your mind. They're weighing on your shoulders. They're weighing you down, but they're all staying stuck up in here. So what you're needing to do is just get rid of them all. You know, transmute that into that energy that makes you very joyful and celebratory. And, you know, this really is much about changing your thoughts. Thoughts create things. Thoughts manifest. Setting intentions is your master manifestation that you can do. So it's changing your thoughts, but celebrating all of that. And you can start slowly, you know, in your mind in meditation, and just ask, you know, something silly is that, you know, I really wish that, you know, someone would bring me, actually I asked for it last week, that someone would bring me a nice coffee. And, you know, just kind of put that out into the universe on your own, just silently, and then celebrate it when something all of a sudden appears. Like, so many things will appear that, well, for me, because I am so aware of these things, and it happens on such a daily basis, that I just get blown away from what's going on within the universe and my energy to bring it to me. So the card that comes in the position of your heart, and it is the card of the projections. And this is really important because it's the mirroring card. And so whether it be whether you're mirroring somebody at work, whether you're mirroring somebody at home, whether you're mirroring a relationship, remember that no matter what it is, you are always mirroring. You are projecting onto them how you are feeling. And this may have been something that you might have overcome or conquered, been more mindful, been more challenged of, but this is in your heart. And so, okay, it's just been said that perhaps there's been either a little bit of a separation or some sort of break, but, you know, there's been some almost coming to a standstill is what it's kind of feeling. And both people are wanting to emerge forward, but not. So basically, when they're really looked at one another face to face, they're not showing their real self. They're showing this I'm okay kind of person. But their energy, and in the 5D, in the interdimensional world, in that 5D space, they are together. And so working towards and trying to help the unity the new vision, the completion within this course, within this card. And that could be, so if we take that into a work situation, perhaps there's something happening at work. Look at it and see where your accountability is without the blame, the shame, and the guilt. I'll always say that, without the blame, the shame, and the guilt. What are you accountable? And what can you, if we keep making people feel shameful, if we keep making people feel guilty about things, then people become afraid to do things. So remember what you're projecting, and project from the heart, truth and love. From that place, project. There's nothing wrong with saying to somebody, look, I really like, if you could, you're at home and there's so much going on, but I really would appreciate it if you could put some headphones on when you're listening to that really loud music that drives me crazy. And doing it in honesty from a place of love, but first figuring out why it's driving you crazy. Perhaps because they're not doing as much work, because that's just the way it is, or perhaps because they're enjoying themselves. Whatever that reason being, taking a look at it and then seeing that projection, and then, responding and saying, why don't we set aside some time to joyfully dance and, around and enjoy one another. Okay, so the final card in this part of where you're at right now is the spiritual journey. Oh, so I had two cards before we got to the another major arcana. So right now you're at a very, very pivotal point in your life, and the soul's lesson at this point is the card of the rebel. And with the card of the rebel is the rebel. It means you're different. It means that you're unique. It means you're not the follower. It may also mean that you're not the leader, yet people will follow you, but for not the reason that you are, they want to be like you. You want people to follow you because you want them to be as free and as unrestrained as you've learned to be. So it's in a manner of speaking, it's about sharing those lessons and taking the opportunity to present it to somebody else. Not that they're going to do the same thing, but understanding and knowing and giving them some confidence that they can build upon their own for themselves. It's also the card of the 4. And so the 4 is much about, in the beginning, is going within. And, all of this talks about going within, to learning to integrate, to accepting the breakthrough, to seeing a new vision of even perhaps doing something completely different than you thought you were going to be doing. And so this is, whatever state you're in right now, it's almost like you're being forced to go within and to start a new pathway. That's what's happening here. So I'm going to chosen 2 cards from the Divine Messages. Can't remember what they're called, but it is. So the first card is, I release time and let the universe show me what to do. So here we go. And again, this card it's a green card. Isn't that cool? But this is really about Spirit is helping you. Spirit is working, on your passions. It's also working on your noggin, which we were talking about, your thoughts, trying to purify, trying to clarify, trying to understand, trying to oh my gosh, I can't get this straight. Trying to allow you to work towards where you want to be without the time frame. We put this time frame on, like, I need to have this done by the time I'm 15. I need to have this done by the time I'm 21. I need to have that done by the time. Remember that there's no time. What happens a lot of times is when we cling on to time, when we hold on to time, we lose a lot of time, because that's what we're focusing on. So rather than focusing on the time, just release it and allow the universe to guide you, okay? So because I had this message of control at some point, really letting go of the control. Is that in the wisdom? Yes. Okay, so in this card it's let go of the need to control and trust in the wisdom of the divine plan. So that is what it's about. Oh, second card, very much, this is a beautiful, beautiful card, and I've never seen it. And it states, instead of worrying about the future, I know all is well when I am aligned in the moment. And that's staying present, and that's aligning. And so we're not being in the past, because we can't change the past. We can forgive the past, we can heal the past, but we can't change the past. And the future, we can't control it. There's too many things that are out of control. We can ask for what we want, but we can't ask for what another wants. We can ask what we want, and so what we're looking for. And so just ask in those basic terms, and allow the universe to do its work. Okay, so those are the cards of the where you're at right now, and we'll go into the relationship part of the reading. And so, Serpentine people, first card that comes out. Okay, so perhaps this Tower is about, the card is unrequited love. And so it says actually there's not enough chemistry or attraction to keep this relationship going. Now, when this card appears, it could define two things, two separate situations. One situation is that a person that you're about to meet, or a person that you're together with, there either needs to be more work, or you need to look at it more realistically, that maybe there isn't enough attraction, and maybe this is not the right relationship for you. Maybe this isn't the right place to be at. But ask yourself, but on the other side of this could be somebody that is now trying to release another within their relationship that they're having a relationship with. They may be trying to release, and it's pretty difficult to do that, because I believe this person has some sort of I'm going to say, the word keeps coming as bond, but I don't want to say it. It's like keep going, and I don't want it to come out of my mouth. Karma, perhaps. There's some sort of bond, I have to say it. There's some sort of bond that's just connected them in some manner. So it's something that they need to go through at this time. So know this, and stop trying to control, and just continue on living your life, living in your light, being who you most want to be and most need to be. Okay, so the next card from the Hermit Tarot that comes up. Interesting. Okay, so the next card that comes up, and I believe this would be the Eight of Cups, and it's, I left because you told me to. Okay, so this person that may be in this space, or, you know, if this is you that's walked away, there's appears to be somebody that has walked away. And so, you know, now this can bring up even more dimensions within this relationship, because it could be that you might have said something in the spur of a moment, and you basically said, take off, go to whatever, just leave, because of where you're at the moment, in the moment, maybe because of of another relationship. But that's why they left. But seeing all the first cards, it's saying as you're going through a huge transition. So this is your opportunity to heal yourself first. So it's probably a really good idea that you did ask them to leave, because you need to do this part of the journey on your own right now. Okay, and it may just be this time, but take that time out. Take some time off to, just And the image in my head is, you know, being at a cabin that doesn't have a lot of amenities, but has no people around, so that you can really dig deep and you can really, you know, smell the roses and, you know, see all the butterflies and everything. Today I was outside and this butterfly just came flying in front of me. I was hoping that it was a hummingbird, but it wasn't. And so, oh, interesting that I said that, because this card here is the card of rejuvenation. And you need to get some rest. You need to get rest to rejuvenate your body, your mind, and your spirit. You've obviously gone through a lot. This whole period that we've been through has affected you, that you just need to find that rest to be, you know, on your own, to really balance your emotions, to and the other interesting part of that is to, you kind of want to shell up a little bit, like go into a shell, but not completely. It's almost like you just want to be left alone. That's just really what it's telling me. But it's to re-energize yourself, to rejuvenate yourself, to gain that perspective and love that you had lost at some point, because the last card is the work of art. And so you are an artist, and an artist of any kind. That could be a musician, that could be a reader, that could be a painter, or pretty much anything. A writer is an artist. Use your gift that God gave you to create, to bring forth, to manifest you as your own masterpiece. Don't run away from yourself. Run towards yourself. So this whole rejuvenation, this whole I'm going to say plan of where you're going, and within the relationship, is the separation, or this time, it's really needed right now for you to reconnect with your passion, with your love for life, and with yourself. And once you do that, perhaps you can reconnect. But right now is you focusing on you. I do also think, for some reason, that them on their side, they need to focus on themselves as well. Okay, so that's pile number 1. So now we're going to move on to pile number 2. And pile number 2 is the green fluorite. And this was the pile. So if you chose this pile, I'm going to put your love messages over there. And pick up the Osho meditation deck, and we'll find out what's going on for you in your world as we speak. So the first card that comes out, wow, I think from the last pile and this pile, what I really feel is people are, and I have been getting this sense all around, that people are stressed. And this card comes into the position of suppression. So it's almost as though you're trying to resist that you are trying to avoid the fact saying that you're stressed. You need to say it. You need to let people know, because the second line they're saying is you need to let some of these balls down. It's funny, I see this, I don't know if it's what it's there, is this monkey popping this balloon and everything comes tumbling down. But you're holding that stress up, and the relief would be for that balloon to pop so that all those balls come tumbling down, and then you can put the balls in order and in an orderly fashion, and you can start going about where you need to be. But you first have to admit that you are feeling the stress of all of the situations, or all of what's going on around you. It could be the stress within, your home. It could be the stress at work. It could just be the stress of being alone. Any of these things can be stresses. Okay, so the 2 cards that The two cards that balance this, very interesting. Okay, the message. So the first card is the card of the understanding. And it's the peace dove. And see this card because I do believe it portrays a bond with somebody, and somebody that's on the other side, and there seems to be a freedom. And then you have this bird in this cage that wants to get out, and there's so much light and there's so much love, but you've got too many balls in the air to keep this going. So it's to recognize, know what your values are. It's to recognize what you truly, truly want at this point, this time in your life. Where do you want to be? What do you most want in your life? It's balanced by laziness. And this card is typically not the world's best card to have. But, oh, excuse me, speaking of lazy, but because of this card, I think you need to be lazy. So you're probably somebody that isn't, and it's quite, I would say possibly that you're a type A personality, or you're, just a doer, get it done. But you're being asked to be lazy, to find that understanding and that peace within yourself, because you want to uncage yourself, because you want to fly free. You want to somehow commit to some, I'm getting this is another person, connect with another person on a different level, but you have to just get rid of all that stress that's weighing you down, that's not allowing you out of that cage. That cage is big enough for you to get out. So you've got to let go of all those things and just start enjoying a bit of the crazy stuff, the stuff that's meant for pleasure, and start having a little bit of pleasure in your life. Okay. And that's what's going to get more stress. Doesn't make less stress. That would be ridiculous. And that's a ridiculous thing to say. But that's what often with people that do that are type A, that are high energy, is they'll just, okay, you know what, I'm feeling really, really low. I'm feeling this. I better go out for a run. Well, how about you just sit down, have a pina colada, and have some fun today? Do that. Take your breaks. Take your time for yourself to find this peace and understanding, to see that there's so much out there, and you're willing to fly outside of that cage. Okay, to not be so caged in and be more free. Wow. Okay, so the card of meditation card. So this group is much about control. Of what are you controlling? What can you control? What can you control? What can you control? Only control. That's always seemed to be the word that's in your mind. How do I make this happen? How do I, fix this? How do I? And it's how do I? And so those are all the balls that are in your air, in the air. But none really seem to land in your hand, because they just keep going. So, you know what? Pick up some balls, put some, things that you want to do, and put them on each of the balls, and then, kind of do that 3 toss. And whichever one falls in your hand, that's the one you get to work on. And the other ones you're not controlling right now. You're just controlling what you need to work on right now. If you take these 3 things, understanding, of being peaceful, of letting go, of feeling so stressed, and then of being lazy. It's really hard for some people to be lazy. I know that I used to be someone that had to do things all the time. And then one day somebody said to me, you get to relax every now and then. And I went, what? I don't even know what that means. But I realized that I had to give myself permission, and I did. And it works. So when you meditate, it's to go in and just completely allow the universe, God, the creator, all of those energies to be in control of you, and not you in control of them. Okay? The more in control we think we are, the less in control we really are. So the next card is the card of this. Yeah, it's a lot. Okay. The next card is the card in position of your body, and it's the card of ordinariness. And same theme. Go out and experience, re-experience joy and happiness in life, go pick dandelions. Go pick up one of those. I was walking with my little friend next door the other day. She was so excited because she saw a dandelion and she couldn't wait to pick it up and blow it. And I just wanted to say, oh my God, don't blow it. This brings more dandelions. Truth is dandelions aren't the weed. The grass is the weed. Dandelions are an incredible medicine. That's beside the point. It's just to go be out there and feel regular again. Feel stress-free. So you've got to do it going outside of that stress so you can just enjoy every single moment. Oh, favorite card is the card in the position of your noggin, your thinker, is the card of compromise. It is my favorite card, and about 2 years ago I probably lectured on it more than I probably because to me it's such an amazing awareness what compromise is about, and it's right above the card of the control. And so it adds a lot of light into this control. And so compromise is not about what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to take away from? What are you willing to, not do? It's understanding what your values are. It's about understanding who you are. It's about understanding where you want to go. It's about understanding what you're not willing at all to compromise on and letting the rest be gone. If it doesn't affect your world, if it doesn't affect your life, then let it go. I visit a friend all the time, and she's always telling me about the people across the street or the people, the stop sign down at the end of the road. And I just say, you know what? I don't need that extra on my brain. I have enough in my head, enough that goes on in my head, enough that I have to say back away, that I need to know about a stop sign. That is ridiculous. It's not even a conversation for me. So you have to learn to compromise on what you're willing to overload your brain with, I guess I would say. So the next card is in the position of your heart, and it's the card of, experiencing. That'd be beautiful. So in regards to a relationship, whether it's a new relationship, an old relationship, a rekindling of a relationship, a lot of relationships are going to need a lot of mending at the end of this, or healing, mending, readjusting, a lot of that at the end of this pandemic, because we're really experiencing and learning so much. But this card is saying it's about experiencing, and it's about experiencing from the heart, absolutely from the heart. And opening yourself out, like grounding yourself, and then experience. It's like seeing things. It's almost like this card of ordinariness and this card experiencing are so similar, but it's going out there and just smelling the roses. What do they smell like? Does anybody even know anymore? I do, because I love roses and I love to smell them. I have a rose plant downstairs. But do we know? I went outside and I smelled the lilacs yesterday. It was so incredible. Things that you forgot. Touch the grass. Feel what the grass feels like. Just go out and experience through your heart what that smells like, what that makes you feel like. Smelling something so beautiful, how does that make you feel? So re-experience through your heart. And that goes into relationships as well. Put your heart out there. Put it out there. Give it an opportunity to put it out there. And see how it's received, and how things need to maybe be adjusted and changed. But you need to experience. So step outside the fear and experience. So the final card in this position, in the position of your soul's journey at this time, is the card of patience. And so this is saying, really be patient with yourself. Really be patient with your body. It's also an awareness of what affects your body, what affects your inner being. When I see this card, I often think of the cycles of the moon, and how it affects me itself. I can pretty much tell you the time of what's going on because of the position of the moon, what's happening within my body. And so to be more patient with myself during those times, that's a clear understanding of and connection to ourselves and to the divine, because we have to sometimes ask is, can you please make me more aware of, what I am experiencing, and what I need to know at this time in my journey, and allow me to feel this fullness within myself, and to feel this greatness and this sense of love, pure sense of love of yourself. You've forgotten that through all of this stress. You have forgotten that pure sense of love for yourself. And so be patient with yourself. We're all going through lots of, not the same boat, but lots of the same situations. And so next we go to the cards of the, oops, it's the wrong deck. The cards of the relationships. So the first card that comes out, okay, and it really speaks back to the next deck, that last part of the reading. It's free yourself, and that's finding out who you are, being that person that you are, being the kindness that you bring to the world, the uniqueness that you bring to the world. Free yourself, free yourself, free yourself. You can easily jump outside of that box. There is no box. That's the reality of it. There is no box. But it's time to release yourself and just enjoy life, experience life differently. As you change, you're going to go through different experiences. Allow for it. Allow for that, and be patient with yourself as you're doing that, okay? So the Hermit tarot card that comes up is, if I asked you to stay, would you leave? And it's interesting, after coming from the Free Yourself card and then getting this card, and really this could be about freeing yourself from the stress. And once you've freed yourself from the stress, you do have to go through that whole purpose of compromise. And so there is a worry here that if you were asked to stay, would you stay or would you leave? So there is fear there. And so you need to find that clarity. You need to know where you are, but it's got to come from this place of purity and wholeness and who you are. And wow. So the card that comes up is doing a little journey of going back through your life and listening to your life, and sitting there and realizing what's important and what you can compromise. But as you go back and listen to your life, the right path will reveal itself, because you'll go back to those times, and you'll be able to see what's important. You'll be able to see what your passions are, what your goals are, what your dreams were, and you can remake those dreams, recreate those dreams, and perhaps in a very different way, but still experiencing those dreams. And the last card is this card, Dance. So freeing yourself, again, this is so clear. It's freeing yourself to step into the light. Step into the light. You are the unicorn. Share your gifts and your talents with the world. But you've got to figure out what they are. You've got to let go of those stress balls, because you're trying to do so many things. And so you have a pathway of getting there. And so within that pathway, it's important to, find that compromise, to say, no, I'm not compromising on that. That's really important to me. It's really important to me that I keep that childlike image of myself, that I keep that childlike essence within myself. Or it's really important to me that, whatever those things are, that I have this place where I can meditate. All the things that are truly important to you, stick with those things, so that you're able to dance, so that you're able to share your light, to step into the light, to be who you're meant to be who you are. Okay, thank you, pile 2. That was actually quite beautiful for you. I have to step away for 1 second, because I'm sweating. Hang on. Okay, thank you. Hi, pile 3. Oh my gosh. Welcome, pile 3. Sorry, I had to step away because it's I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Canada, and don't let anybody fool you that Canada doesn't get hot because it's so hot out right now. Nobody's outside because we have a heat warning. And yes, it's probably a heat warning that most people in different cities and countries would stay in, but not us in Winnipeg. We want to, if we can't be at the beach, but because of all the lockdowns that are going on, not a lot of people can be at the beach. So we're just stay away. So I'm staying in the house. Okay. So welcome to your reading, pile 3. And let's get at her. I gotta find the cards. Okay, so the first card that comes into light is the position of the what are you suppressing or what aren't you seeing? What do you need to see in order to move forward along your journey? I need to see that. You need to see true north. You need to shake something up a little bit. And it's almost like you have to change directions right now at this point. But it is a complete direction, but it's doing something or adding to something that's going to bring you more prosperity. Prosperity? Yeah. That's what you're needing, where you're headed towards. So something has to change. So we'll figure out where we're at. So the first card is the card of traveling. Now this card, most people would think it has to do with traveling, which it could be. Maybe you have to travel somewhere, and that's, it's not unusual that somebody might have to travel. But this card is about astral traveling. It's about moving forward in a direction. And as I was saying here, this is about you needing to take the opportunity, to take the chance to, and it's not even taking a chance for you because you know it's going to be successful. So that's part of the, I would say, part of the issue at this point. It's going to be successful. You just have to make the movement, and you're not doing that. So there's, obviously fear, but we'll figure that out in the next 2 cards, which are the yin and the yang, which balances that out. Whoa. Okay, I like when I say yo and nobody sees the cards. So what's balancing this? So there's one deck that really comes out more to be a romance reading. And this can be about romance, but you can also put it into a context of a new beginning, a new relationship at work. But the 2 cards that balance this traveling card of moving in, like getting rid of, it's almost like getting rid of what was here, the past, like releasing an ex or releasing, the things that just don't serve you, that aren't right for you, that aren't right for you. These aren't things that you think are right for you. They're things that you've just learned to do and you keep doing it. And so it's to stop doing it and start making choices that are taking you towards where you want to be. So the first card that comes up is the card of the Lovers. And this card is so incredibly beautiful. And maybe that's where you're moving towards, is towards this true love. And, oh, okay, I just got it. Thank you. Okay, and it's also balanced by the card of the New Vision. So that's 2 major arcana cards. So what I really am understanding with this, because there is, okay, so when I move these 2, you didn't see this, but this is citrine, and citrine is typically about work and about prosperity, and crystal, and it's clear quartz crystal, and it is from a mine here. And sometimes I can't believe the clarity of crystal that we get out of our minds. It blows my mind. Anyways, you know the direction that you need to go in. And you need to take that opportunity to do so. So you know it's going to be prosperous. You know that it's going to lead to love. So there's two different, this isn't a love reading, and this isn't a say work or career path today that you're needing to focus on this weekend. This is a focus on both of them, but none of them. And so it's like the two are going to collide at the same time. It's as soon as you take this, say, leap, this chance, seeing that you are being held back by your fears, that you're not wanting to, once you've released that, these two just come together, because you've defined, you know what you want in love, you know what you want in work, and there is a new vision. Both of these have to do with new visions of creating a new life for yourself with another. Okay, so that is going to come together, but you have to take the first step. You're being led, guided to move forward, to take that opportunity, to seek out the opportunities. And Spirit just said to listen to Spirit. It's almost like when you feel that nudge, start listening to your intuition. It's I really do wish that, if there's so many wishes I wish, but I really do wish that I could really teach more people about listening to their intuition, not listening to their gut. Your gut is fear, and fear-based is not the place to listen. You want to listen from your heart, from your solar plexus, from your throat chakra, from your third eye, and connected to your soul star chakra. You want to listen to a clarity within yourself, not fear. Our gut is fear, and you don't want to listen to your fear. Your fear is there to help you, to remind you that perhaps you need to take a different route, or perhaps you don't need to go back to that situation. Like maybe you're thinking, let's just say that you were married, you're now separated, and you've met somebody. And so you're not, okay, so you're going on this date with this guy. All of a sudden you start thinking, oh, I hope I made the right decision when I met, this person. That's where synchronicity is going to happen in this, because of these major arcana cards, and Spirit is stepping in and saying, hey, you need to adjust. Spirit's stepping in and saying, you need to take that step. And so they're going to place something in your way so you remember why you walked, why you left. And so you won't be feeling that anymore until the next time. And then that similar thing may happen until you've fully released the situation. Now that could go the same for work. If you are not in a position that you're totally passionate about. So let's say you're at a position, so you're not wanting to quit your job until you find a job. But if you put yourself in that energy, in that aura, vibration of a new position, a new job opening up, then that can be brought forward to you, because you've opened yourself up to the new vision within that. And so you have to be open. You need to make these connections. And you, again, it's not about taking a chance. It's that it's true. It's not saying no to something that isn't, that you're not passionate about, and that they just said that's not real to you. For some reason it may not be real to you because you're not passionate about it. So this is finding your passion, your absolute passion, which becomes your new vision. So that's the work process. So it can be either. The card in the position of your meditation is aloneness. Always, again, one of my favorite cards to get, because this old man is walking towards a light, and it's a light that he has seen. And there's this whole story in my head that's going on. So in the position of meditation, and I think I have to tell the story to see if I can get to the place of how the meditation's going, because they're saying the story is important. So this man is alone. And he's been alone a long time. He's been alone on his journey. He's only done this journey. It's not for himself, but I believe that he's journeyed to follow something or to follow a pathway that he believes is the right pathway. So yet it's not a passion within him. It's just where he thinks, or, was told, or, just where he thinks he needs to be. So he's following this pathway, but if you can look at it, he's not following to the light, he's following more into the darkness. And what he needs to do is turn towards the light and find that passion within himself. When he knows that passion. So in meditation, I hope that made sense. So within meditation, it's, it's almost like shutting down our mind and just opening up completely all our chakras, all our energy centers, opening them up fully and completely, and sitting alone in that space. And just breathing and clearing out, and breathing and clearing out, and healing and sending those lights in it, because you want the white light to be, going all through you, all around you. Then you want the blue light of healing, and it stops in all of the areas that truly, truly need to be healed. And then you add in that golden light. The golden light is what connects you to the universe, what connects you to God. It's that string that connects you straight to and takes your intentions and your prayers and your thoughts up to the universe. And so you need to do this on your own. It's so you are getting the fullness of your experience, the fullness of your passions, your desires, and nothing else is in the way. So I hope that kind of made sense in a roundabout way. So the next card is in position of your body. And so it aligns so much with the first card, and it's the card of clinging to the past. And so I'm really sensing that this is a very physical clinging to the past. It's such that this is, with your body, and so your body always wants to reach for what happened before, what you reached for happened yesterday, last year, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And instead of healing that past and finding the gifts or finding the benefits of that journey that you had taken, you're clinging on to it. So you're also clinging on to, in some respects, what a lot of people will also cling on to is, let's say you're a super dynamic athlete in school, and so you're a Mr. Popular or Miss Popular or whatever, it was, and then you finish school, but you don't get a scholarship, or, you're done, and all of a sudden that whole group area, that whole togetherness just isn't, support system isn't around you anymore. So then you start clinging to things that remind you of, and we start collecting and collecting and collecting, and hoarding is what I would say, instead of letting things go. And I have to tell just a little bit of a story in this regard, because it's, my father was a professional hockey player. And so for me, something that bothered me, and it doesn't bother me about other people asking about, were autographs. And the reason that it does is that as a child, after a game, I just wanted to be with my dad. I wanted to see him. But we had to wait, because he had to go through that lineup of a lot of people wanting autographs or just talking. And my father was a very, very outgoing conversationalist. He loved to talk to people, loved to sit with people, and he could do it for hours on end. And so that's something for myself that, now for me, what's transpired is that I don't like the idea of autographs, which is absolutely ridiculous. Because of a memory. So if I let go of that memory, or that thought that was attached to that memory, then my perspective changes. And I think, wow, this person waited a really long time because he met somebody that he really looked up to, somebody that he mentored, somebody that he wanted to be like. So in clinging to the past, we often cling to the wrong aspects. So it's finding a new perspective. It's finding the gift within the situation. And we don't have to cling to it anymore, because what lives within us is growth and inspiration and dedication to our journey forward. Whoa. Okay, so the next card is the card in the position of our thinker noggin, and that's the card of the Fool. And it really does line up with all of everything, especially the card of the aloneness. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards. So again, this is a reading that is very much spiritually guided and divinely inspired. And you're going through it because it's the necessary changes that have to take place. So the first card we got was the card of the traveling, is moving forward, going on to find, you know, this new vision, and knowing, because you know that it is there, but that fear didn't allow it. And so you've dropped the fear of clinging to the past, and you're able to now look at the opportunities in front of you, which is why the Fool card is so important, because the Fool takes all of those opportunities. He doesn't give a darn. He's on the middle of a mountain, and he's got a flower in his hand, and he's just enjoying life. And it's almost as though someone would say, oh my gosh, what is that Fool doing? Well, you don't know what that Fool's doing, and the Fool is doing it because it's a passion. I'm not saying he's jumping off the cliff, so please don't say that. What I'm saying is that he's just taking opportunities without thinking about the consequences ahead. Absolutely, yes, we want to know whether the situation is going to put us in danger. Absolutely, 100%, always know if there's danger present. However, also take the opportunity and the chance. So this is the mind, this is the card in the position of your mind. And so it's taking your thoughts. And so doing a quick rational question within yourself is, you know, is this a good opportunity? Is this not? Is this going to serve me? Is this going to be disastrous? And without ego, because the Fool has no ego. So outside of the ego is making that choice. And stepping outside of the ego is, again, one of the most incredible places to be, because you're not constantly thinking and, you know, putting into context different things. You're just making a decision based here in the here and now, on the idea that you want to, you know, be with that, you know, new love, or in that new position, with that new vision, because this is a new you. So you're creating a new you, a new beginning, a new start with you. And it begins within your thoughts, your mind, you know, things you say, the things you do, but mostly in your thoughts and your deeds and your words. The card in position of another major arcana card, the card in position of your heart, and it's the card of innocence. And I love this card too, because he just looks so innocent. And one of the major reasons I love this is how happy he is with this grasshopper. And I'm not sure why, but maybe it reminds me so much of, but it's seeing a grasshopper, you know, rejuvenate itself, experiencing it, seeing it, what happens if you change your energy within your heart. Can you, you know, bring forth that love that you want, because your heart is no longer hardened. Your heart is no longer filled with things that don't need to be in there. You know what your passions are, you know what your dreams are, and you know what you want. And so now it's through the heart that you're seeing, and it's through the eyes of innocence that is attached to the heart from your third eye, that you are able to see the newness within a relationship, the newness within your heart, the joy of days gone past, of being a child, and sitting in that energy I'd say almost 24/7. It's a beautiful energy to sit in and just be really joyful. Spend more time with kids or dogs or whoever and just see how happy and joyful they are. Okay, the final card is the card of Source. Okay, so this has been much, and I've mentioned a few times, I do believe, about connecting with, spirit, with the divine. And this is a trust, a faith in the divine, in God, in the Creator. Excuse me. Sorry. This is a unity, a coming together of balancing those energies. Okay, so this is what I'm getting from this card. Is that this is the card of the Source is about your two things, is your vibration, your energy, and that's the first and foremost. The second part of that is the Creator saying, you need to connect to me in order to create that vibration. Connect to me fully, whole. It's almost like give yourself up into me. It's sort of like when people do give their life up to Jesus. I'm Catholic. It's different. I'm a spiritualist, but I was brought up in a Catholic church, and I believe very much in the Catholic. Lots of the Catholic. That's a hard thing to say right now with what's going on in Canada. Anyways, let's forget that part. So, so this is about connecting with Source. It's about connecting with the divine Source. It's not about connecting with religion. It's about connecting with Source. What your Source is, that Source energy, so that your energy can interchange and intermingle. And the two, this is what I'm seeing, is a complete intermingling of sources, of Source that you've allowed to come in through, that higher self, that when you're doing that meditation to bring it down into your heart, and then just watch it as it expands around you, and then rotates around you, and that's what's going to bring forth all of that beauty and love and all of that innocence and that opportunity that you want to bring towards yourself. It's trusting and having faith in Source to do so. Okay, so that's the first part of the reading. The second part we go to is the relationship part. I can't tell you how much I love the purity in this. It's just absolutely stunning. It's almost like the little diamonds are all through there. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Thank you, Barton. Okay, so this is pile 3. I'll put the relationship deck there, and I'll go on to, talk about doing things wrong. I'm going to go to the romance part of that reading. The cards are backwards, so I'll do the backwards. So the first card is the Hermit Tarot card. And so that's going to give us some insight into thoughts, feelings. And so it comes up as, it's a 3 of... So it's the 3 of Cups in a different light. I think we should see other people. And it's ... It's not a statement. It's a query. And so I'm actually believing that this person that either you're in a relationship, wanting to be in a relationship, or near a relationship, or I think that they're on unsure footing. And so they're not asking, they're inquiring because they really want to know where they stand, where they sit, how you feel, because they don't know. And so that really bothers them. It makes me laugh because the card that comes up now next is separation. And so this is really saying is that perhaps you're in that period of separation, or perhaps you need to have that period of separation to get to know, to understand, to think. You really want to know if this relationship is real, All relationships are real, but whether this is, you know, your lifetime relationship, the relationship that you want to settle down with. And so there needs to be time to think about it. So to have that separation, to discover all of those things that were important in the beginning that right now during this time may have slipped away. And so, you know, having that date night that can't be had because you have, you know, 3 kids at home, and date night isn't so fun with 3 kids at home. Plan it differently. So, you know, there is some sort of separation, and it could be a separation even together. Okay. So there's a lot of questioning within this. Oh my God, this I'm not sure which card to take within this relationship. So this card is choice. And sometimes I wish that I could see the cards before, because then I'd go, oh my gosh. So one or both of you is reconsidering the commitment within this relationship, knowing that you have the right to change your mind, but knowing that you can ask, you know, to say, I need time. I need a separation right now because I really don't know where I stand. I think maybe we should see other people. And this could be coming from them because they see a choice. But what was really important within this card that I saw were all the Cupid's angels sitting there. And there needs to be a time of rest. And one side of this relationship is holding back what is truly in their heart. So I think, and the separation comes from that aspect of them holding so tightly onto their heart for fear of, you know, not getting hurt. So the final card with here is goals. So that's remembering what your goals are, and that can be on both sides. That's reflecting on all of your goals. And I always advise people to sit down, write down your goals, and release the outcomes. And with each small step, celebrate, because those small steps are making a big difference towards your goals and your dreams. Okay, so I'm going to end this with just 2 messages from this deck that I don't know the name of. Like, I don't know the names of anything. Okay, this deck. Perfect. Thank you. Spirit saying, first thing, okay. When I surrender my will to the care of Spirit and the universe, I tune my energy with an ever-present stream of well-being. Wow, I just got shivers when I read that. So it's knowing and understanding that, you know, if there is a separation, if there's changes, choices that have to be made, if there's goals that have to be realigned, it's to know that by surrendering to Spirit, to the care of the universe, and attuning your energy to the wisdom of the universe, to the wisdom within, and to the wisdom of God, that your energy will reflect this. And healing on a different level will take place. Your goals will change more. Your outlook's gonna change more, and your life is just gonna be more calm because you've taken that time out. It's like taking a time out for a couple. Okay, and if you're not a couple right now, see it how you can. You can always transform the wordings into where your relationship's at this time. So this last card is, I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day as I strengthen my faith in the love of the universe. And so this is this choices, these are these goals. These are this taking this time, and just 5 minutes a day to sit in quiet in order to multiply, to strengthen your faith. So just literally sit in faith and knowing and wisdom. We're coming back to wisdom is knowledge with experience, experience learned. And so sitting in that, and I know from the past that my experience is if I try to push through things or I try to push somebody, it usually doesn't end up well. But I know that when I ask the universe, something magical happens. So sitting in that space will do you justice, it will do you favor, it will do you opportunity, and new opportunities come forth. Okay, so thank you very much, Pile 3. Namaste. I thank you all for allowing me to read for you and for entering into your life. Again, if you like my reading, then please like, share, and subscribe. And I will be back hopefully tomorrow and with another daily reading. Okay, namaste. Love you. Have an incredible day. Stay hot, cool, or however you need to be. And God bless.